Okay, another video, same time, wardrobe change. Let's talk about, to the skeptics, why you don't see or experience the spiritual, the metaphysical, okay? There are a lot of skeptics who say that they don't see and they don't hear, therefore it cannot exist. But to use a classic analogy, if a blind man can't see, does that mean it doesn't exist? Dogs can hear frequencies that humans can't. Does that mean it doesn't exist? So just because our detection equipment is not able to pick something up, that does not mean it doesn't exist. Okay, that's the first basic thing. And then you have to realize that each of us has our own detection systems inside of us. Okay? You have to have them, and then you have to turn them on. See, the problem with most people is they don't even turn them on. They don't realize they have them, and so they don't turn them on. You got to turn them on. I mean, your eyes will not work with your closed lids. See how much I can see? You got to open them. You got to open them to see. Got to turn it on to make it work. So you got to do the same thing with your detection equipment. You got to turn it on. That's the first thing. You got to turn it on in order to see and experience these things that exist at different visual frequencies and different audio frequencies. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, the second thing, the second factor to consider is that we have filters. We have filters for a reason, because there's lots of information coming at us at all times. If we got all information at all times, we'd be overwhelmed. And trust me, I'm one of those guys that has all filters open, all detection systems working. Believe me, you have no idea the amount of information that's coming into my mind and body at all times. You think I'm just standing there at a party. You have no idea all the different sights and sounds that I'm absorbing, that I'm receiving. You have no idea of all the radio wave transmissions that I could pick up, all the consciousness telepathy from other people that I can receive. You have no idea. It's all coming at me. And you think I'm just sitting there being quiet. But really, it's like I'm picking up everything. So that's what it is. So it can be overwhelming if you're not ready for it. It can be overwhelming. And even in some circumstances, it is overwhelming. So that's just a personal example. That's why the filters are there for a reason for most people, because if you opened the filters up and you weren't ready to receive it, you would just collapse on the floor. So there is that. So you got to open up your filters, but because most of them are closed. But then try not to be overwhelmed when you do open them up. Okay, there's that. The third reason is spirituality is very personal. By that, I mean angels do not just show up to a crowd. I mean, a lot of people say, well, why doesn't Jesus just come to a stadium, 50,000 people, and show up? Because that's not the way it works. Why don't angels just come into a stadium or a room full of people and just show up? Because that's not how they work. It's not my rules, it's theirs. That's how they do things. They're individual. They work on a person by person by person basis. So they'll show themselves to one person at one time and another person at another time. Even when there are multiple people in the same room, they may only show themselves to one of the people in the room, not another. Just the way they do things. I was once at a friend's home, and as soon as the friend walked out of the main room and into her bedroom, my light started blinking, which is how they know that they're communicating with me and they're saying hello. See, when she walks outside the room, they stop. When she's inside the room, it goes on again. That's just the way they do things. And so, how are you going to convince people? Skeptics will say, wasn't that convenient? Convenient that you could only you can see the angel. Convenient that the lights blinked only when you were in the room and nobody else. Hey, that's just what happens. That's just the way it is. So those are some of the reasons why you may not be seeing what other people see. There are many other reasons as well, but those are some of the main ones. So keep those in mind.